We are here at the MCI booth. I'm here with Josefine Greber from the Ministry of Development Cooperation. We're going to talk a little bit about the Global Shield that was launched yesterday. But before we get started, can you tell us a little bit more about you, what you're doing here at COP?
Yes, so I work in the Climate Policy Division of BMZ, and I've joined the team about a year and a half ago and started working on the Global Shield right away, against the Global Shield against climate risks. And so in the beginning, should I start right away talking about?
Yeah, you can, no problem.
So in the beginning it was for the G7 because Germany took the G7 presidency this year, and we wanted to make a difference. Hearing all the discussion at the last COP about climate risks and how much they are affecting vulnerable people and poor people that are also the target group of our work at BMZ. And also, very importantly, the discussions on losses and damages that got more and more stronger at the last COP. And so we realized we need to absolutely do something in that area to make a difference and to contribute through that responsibility of the German G7 presidency. And that's why we came up with the initiative of the Global Shield against climate risks.
Okay, very nice. And the Global Shield has been under discussion for some months already.
Yeah.
Yesterday was the launch. As you said, it was under the leadership of the German G7 presidency, but also the V20 group of finance ministers, so the vulnerable country finance ministries.
Very important.
Yeah, very important. Why was it launched at COP? What are your expectations for the COP?
Yeah, I think it's a really important question and important point, so that it's not only a G7 initiative, but really a joint initiative with the V20 group of finance ministers. And why we decided to, or why we are so happy that they came on board with this initiative and joined us, is because they are the ones that really have the experience on the ground. And they are hit the hardest by climate risks, so they are the ones that need to be at the center of this kind of an initiative so that it can actually make an impact. And the reason to bring this to COP was because we were expecting that loss and damage was going to be, again, a big discussion, and we thought that with this initiative we can really contribute a very practical initiative and bring something very practical from the kind of implementation side to this very kind of political space, and show that there's actually a lot of work that is already being done in by a big group of people or institutions trying to make a difference and trying to protect more poor and vulnerable people against climate risks. And also because we knew that all the stakeholders that are really important in that space and that are able to really contribute and bring their perspectives to the initiative, they would be here. So we thought this was the best platform to launch the Global Shield together with the V20. And I mean, they agreed with us on this, so this is it was a shared decision. That's why we decided to do it here.
No, I think it totally makes sense, and the loss and damage discussions here at COP definitely also provide the right framing. We're hoping also for a substantial outcome at the end of the COP. But maybe I should ask a few more questions about the Global Shield itself. So what is it really about? What are the components? What are some of the next steps? How does it work for the countries?
Yeah, I think it's a good question and it's a tricky question because you could say it's quite complex. So the impact that we want to have is to protect more poor and vulnerable people against climate risks, as I already said. People and countries in partner countries, in countries affected most by climate change and by climate disasters. And to do that, we were conscious that it needs to be possible to implement this really quickly and to really bring help to the ground as fast as possible and make impact as fast as possible. So we are building on existing structures because there's already a lot of experience in the space of climate and disaster risk finance. Germany has been working in this space for a long time already, supporting strongly the Energy Resilience Global Partnership that is a key player in that space. And so basically we're building on this work and on this experience that we have already made over the last years, and trying to scale it up really massively, making it much more systematic, much more coherent, and much more sustained than it has been previously. Really trying to scale it up and to really bring it to another level so that it can actually adequately tackle the challenges that we are facing. And maybe to make it more concrete, how this could look like is one component that we are trying to or that we're going to start working on after COP is the implementation of coherent country protection packages. So a country, now we have pathfinder countries that have been suggested by the V20, where we're going to start implementing, and then hopefully subsequently we can roll this out to more and more countries. Country will have the chance to, or the possibility through the Global Shield to implement complete, very systematic and comprehensive country protection package to protect themselves and their population from climate risks.
Yeah, I think it's also important, especially to the V20 stakeholders, that it's a country-driven process.
Yes.
I think that's what the Global Shield is about to some extent. Let me ask a few more questions around the financing. We've seen some pledges coming forward. I think that's, of course, welcome. But there are also funding entities and funds behind that. The World Bank, for example, also announced the Global Shield financing facility at this COP. Can you tell us a little bit about these funding initiatives? How do they work? What makes them different from what we've had before? So how does it work?
So when we started the work, it was really clear that in order to achieve this ambition and this goal, we need a strong financing mechanism for the Global Shield. And that's quite tricky because all the big multilateral players that are out there, the World Bank, but also the UN stakeholders, it's quite complicated to set up new funds, and also building on existing funds, really pushing them to that flexibility that we were looking for, also making it possible that these stakeholders, especially the affected countries, that they're part of it and that they are in the center, that this is really tricky to achieve. And so we came up with a quite flexible but also maybe a bit complicated financing structure, because it consists of 3 different funds. One with the World Bank, as you've said already, the Global Shield Financing Facility, which builds on the Global Risk Financing Facility at World Bank, that we've been working together with World Bank really hard to reform, to make it much more flexible and much more up for the task than it's been previously. Then we have the Global Shield Solutions Platform that is building on the experience that we've collected with the Inter-Resilient Solutions Fund, the ISF at Frankfurt School, that has been implementing really innovative public-private partnership projects. So we are also developing this further, and this is actually the most flexible of tools that will, or funds that we'll have in the financing structure of the Global Shield. And the third fund, also very important, is the V20 Joint Multi-Donor Fund that was brought in through the V20 group, which is their fund, and that also has a Global Shield window. And we're hoping that through these 3 funds we get enough flexibility and can really react very fast to any request that we might get through the country processes to the Global Shield, to really make sure that the adequate funding is available and can be dispersed quickly.
Okay, yeah, that sounds very good.
But complicated.
But complicated, yeah, that's why we have to explain all of that. Do you have some last thoughts on this small interview?
I mean, I think it was really a big effort now to make sure that we can achieve this launch here, and we are really happy how we achieved it, because it was a great success. A lot of stakeholders were part of it, part of the launch, but also of the development. And now, I mean, we have that political commitment with the launch, and also with the German contribution of 170 million euro in funding. But definitely now the real work will start, because we will need to start implementing, setting up the governance structure. So there's going to be a lot of work ahead of us, and we're looking forward to working with all the partners and stakeholders that have been contributing to this already before, to make it a reality. And for anybody interested, the concept is available on the V20 website. There's a specific Global Shield sub-page with the full concept for anybody that's interested. We are trying to be really fully transparent here, and the concept has been consolidated with, I think, about 88 stakeholders, so we're quite proud of that effort as well. But it will be a continued effort.
Yeah, we will add the document to the comment section of the video. And with that, I can only say thank you for coming to the booth, and have a few good remaining days at COP27.
For you too. Thanks for having me.